Hello and welcome to my channel Computer Classes by Rachna. Today we will discuss the difference between GUI and CUI. You must be aware GUI stands for Graphical User Interface. So in Graphical User Interface, we basically work on everything which is based on graphics. Everything is based on icons, symbols. For example, if we talk about your phone have symbols like the folders. Your phone have your symbols for contacts, icons for contacts. Your phone has icon for phone book, and it becomes very easy for you to click on things and get your tasks done. So GUI is something which is very in nowadays, and it becomes very easy for everyone to work on GUI. Whereas earlier we did not have GUI. What we had was CUI, which is called as Command User Interface. So GUI examples include the Android operating system of your phone. It includes Windows operating system on your laptops, on your tablets. And CUI, the example of CUI is the command prompt, which is your DOS. DOS stands for Disk Operating System. DOS stands for Disk Operating System. So when we did not have this option of clicking and getting the things done, we had the option of typing the commands and then getting our task done. So earlier, when Windows was not there, when Android was not there, and we did not have any icons to work upon, any graphics which are easy to understand, so we had everything which was based on commands. So when I talk about commands means for any smaller task that we have to do, we were supposed to type a command and then the things would be done. Nowadays we have to right click, copy, and right click paste. But when I talk about the CUI, there was nothing like right click and there was nothing like copy paste. We were simply copying the files through commands. We were moving the files from one location to another. We were creating directories, we were creating folders, and for that we had to give a command. And here right now, when we have to create a folder, what we do, we just right click and we give new. We click on new and then we choose the option of folder and it is done. Whereas here we need to create the folder through mkdir or md, and then we give the name of the folder. So what was the problem with CUI? What was the drawback of CUI? So it was completely dependent on the commands. If we forget the command, we were not able to perform any of the operations that we wanted. Whereas icons are so easy to understand in Android and Windows that if we do not know, we just do some clicking of things and it will be done. So that's the major difference between CUI and GUI. So the graphical user interface is very user friendly. We do not have to learn things much. We just have to move on the screen a bit and do some R&D, and we get to know everything on our own. Whereas in CUI, we have to learn the commands for each and every operation that we want to do. That's the major difference between CUI and GUI. So for example, if on my desktop I just right click, I can get the option of new. I click on new and I get a folder. So one new folder is created and here I can rename it. So for renaming, I will just again right click or give it a name first. So let me give it a name. Let's say the name of this folder is F1, and within F1 there's a blank folder. I want to create, let's say, another folder or a document. So I just right click folder, and let's say I create a Word document, and within this Word document I want to write any file, so that can be done. So now suppose I want to create a copy of this folder. So what will I do? I will go back to this F1 and I right click and copy, and right click and paste. So it is so easy to do things here. So I right click and then I paste, or I can also give the shortcut Control C Control V. So we have this F1 copy, and now I can rename, right click, rename, and I give it a name F2. So these two folders are created in front of you within a matter of clicks, whereas it does not happen when I talk about the command prompt or command user interface. For the command user interface, we have to go to the start button, and then we can go to MS-DOS, or what we can do is that we can type in this search box CMD. So when we type CMD, command prompt will open, and it will be open from the root directory. You might not see this users or anything. You directly might see C prompt. So this is where we give the commands for the DOS. So suppose I need to create one folder which is called as F1 and another folder which is called as F2. So that folder will be created in C, and within C it will be in folder users, then it will be in the ASUS directory. So here this is the path which is there, and now I create a folder F1. So to create a folder we have a command md F1. Okay, so we give the command md F1, and now it is created. So if it is already existing, it will say that the file is already existing. So let me create F11. So md F11. So it is done. Now let's say I want to create, or I want to write something in this F11. I want to create a file in F11. Let's say the name of the file is file11. Okay, so creating a file, I need to first either go to F11. So I need to change my directory from ASUS to F11 so that I move into folder F11, and then within F11 I will create a file which is, let's say, file11. Okay, so for that I first change the directory cd F11. When I do cd F11, it will show the path C, users, ASUS, and F11. And now what I have to do, I have to create a file. To create a file, what we have to do, we give a command copy con. So I'm giving a file command copy con, and let's say the name of the file is file11. And now I press enter. When I press enter, it is showing me a prompt which is blinking, which means I have to add something to this file. So let me type a few things here. Let's say the name of the file is file11. Let me press enter. So it says if suppose the file11 is already present, it will say overwrite file. I will say yes. Okay, and then it is present in directory or folder, we can use any word, F11. All right, and now I want to save it. So for saving I press Ctrl Z. So when I press Ctrl Z, this cap symbol along with Z will appear, and now I press enter and the file will be copied. So now I want to view the content of this file. To view the content of this file, the command is type. To display the content of this file, the command is type. And since I'm already in F11, I can directly type the name of the file which I want, which is present in F11. So I'll type file 11 and I press enter. See, the name of the file is file 11. It is present in the directory F11. So this file we have created from DOS prompt using commands, and now we will see that this file is actually existing. All right, and to see where this file is, so we can move to the C folder, and so we move to this PC and then we move to C. Within C we went to users. Within users we have the folder ASUS. Within ASUS we have a folder F11, and we click on F11. Within F11 you can see a file is created which is file 11. I click on this file and it is open with notepad. I click just once and now you will see the name of the file is file 11. It is present in directory F11. Okay, we are done with this.